In this video, we're going to take a look at conjunctions and review some of the most common conjunctions. So, what are conjunctions? Conjunctions are words that connect other words or phrases or clauses together. A clause is like a full piece of a sentence, and we'll see many examples as we go. And we use these to avoid repeating words. The most common conjunction is and. We know that one, right? Of course. So some examples, very simply. There's a school, there are the children. There's a school, and there are the children. Very easy. I ate too much sugar today, I feel sick. I ate too much sugar today, and I feel sick. And finally, my mother is a teacher, my sister is a teacher. My mother and my sister are both teachers. Or you could just say my mother and my sister are teachers. So we use are because, of course, it's two people. My mother is, my sister is, my mother and sister are. Then we move on to looking at commas. Now, this is a common mistake, a common mistake that people make. So let's take a little look and make sure that we avoid this mistake. So when you're listing more than two items, you're making a list in your sentence, and there are 3 or 4 or 5 things, you need to use commas between all of the different items on the list. Only the last item should have the and placed before it. So, example, there's a school, there are the children, there is the headmaster. There's a school, comma, there are the children, comma, and there is the headmaster. All right? And this is called a list of 3. And it's a very useful way of writing. It's quite effective and powerful if you make lists of 3. They say that 3 is the magic number. I ate too much sugar today. I feel sick. I need to go home. I ate too much sugar today, comma, I feel sick, comma, and I need to go home. The next conjunction to look at is but. So let's take a look at but. So this conjunction is used to contrast two clauses. So when you're saying two things are kind of disagreeing with each other, or to join a positive statement with a negative statement. All right, let's see some examples. There's a hotel, there isn't a restaurant. There's a hotel, comma, but there isn't a restaurant inside. Okay? So the hotel is, let's say, the positive thing, and the lack of the restaurant is the negative thing, because now we'll be hungry. I wanted to study in London, my grades weren't good enough. I wanted to study in London, comma, but my grades were too low. My grades weren't good enough. My children will eat vegetables, comma, but only if there is a sauce with them. So that one, of course, is giving a positive thing. My children will eat vegetables, but there's a negative as well. Only if there's something nice. Only if they get pizza and donuts as well. I will help you with your maths homework, comma, but you must help me with my biology homework. All right, so positive thing, I'll help you, but negative thing, you have to help me as well. Now, a word that many people use or at least know about, but don't always use in the right way or feel confident using, is yet. So let's take a look at yet. So it's similar to but we use it when two clauses contradict each other. So it's like, there's no logic between these two parts of the sentence. That'll be clear with an example. And we can use it with and. We say and yet when we want to give some emphasis. We really want to focus on that problem or that contradiction. So it's 32 degrees Celsius outside, comma, yet Oliver is wearing a jersey. So it's hot, yet he's got lots of clothes on. So it's not very logical. It doesn't really make sense. There were tutors available to help you, yet you still failed the test. It's a very strict parent talking there. I asked you to be quiet, and yet you continue to talk in class, all right? And you can notice where there are commas here and where there aren't commas. So when yet is by itself, we need to have a comma before that. And when we do and yet, no comma needed. Another common conjunction to review is or. Let's take a look at or. We use or when there is a choice between two or more different options. And it can be used also to show the consequences of doing something or of not doing something. It's kind of like a threat when, for example, your parents are saying, eat your food or you won't get any dessert. That was something that my parents told me a lot. So it's like a threat. They're saying, what will happen if you don't do the right thing? Study hard or you will fail the test. So, some examples. Would you like chicken or beef, sir? I would like a draft or bottle of beer or a glass of wine if there's no beer left. Now, something we should pay attention to is where we've used the commas there. So you can see the chicken or beef. Those are just two nouns, two different options that are very short. Okay, so when we do it like that, apples or oranges, big or small, then we don't need a comma. But in the second sentence, you can see there's a comma after, a comma before the or. And that's because we're connecting two different clauses, two parts of the sentence. So I would like a draft or bottle of beer. That one is one clause. And then the second clause needs to be separated by a comma. If we didn't have a comma, we would read it like, I would like a draft or bottle of beer or a glass of wine if there is no beer left. It would be like we're just vomiting words. So that's not good. We want to organize our writing better, make sure our grammar's really correct. Then another one, don't forget to charge your phone tonight, comma, or you won't be able to listen to music tomorrow. So this one is showing the negative consequence, the bad thing that will happen if you don't follow this advice. Be quiet when you come home, or you might wake the baby up.